Panda. Yo, I have to start a podcast with Panda, man. You're not a Panda fan, Paul? Yeah, I mean, Panda. What's his name again?
Designer.
Designer is like all over that whole Panda record.
Yeah, I'm feeling that record.
I mean, it's everybody and their mama is, and I mean, we can start this podcast real crazy and screaming and stuff, but I just had to do the Panda thing because it seems like it's becoming an epidemic. It's actually like classical hip hop now. People are, at least in CHH, they're going back to actually doing freestyles on beats, and I'm pretty shocked at the kind of people that are actually freestyling on the Panda beat to start off. I like the record. Actually, if you watch what's his name? Designer. If you watch Designer live on stage, not promoting the man. I'm just saying he has tremendous amount of energy when he's on stage. But the beat goes hard no matter if you're East Coast, South, whatever. It's a pretty dope record. And we're talking about CHH remixes, which first of all, what are your takes on the ones that, and be honest here, man, because if you're not, I will be. What do you think of the Panda remixes that CHH artists have done?
A lot of them, you know, they're not the strongest.
What?
They're not the strongest Panda remixes, but you know, there's a few good ones I heard. I would say,
who I know that Angie Rose has one.
Yeah, she did a dope one.
Fidel has one. Threat from Miami.
Yeah,
here.
Threat from down here. Shout out to Threat.
not gonna lie, none of them have really been that serious. I'm not gonna front. Some people have tried different things. Some have copied exactly how the Panda record originally goes. But my take was that when you do a remix, usually it has to be better than what's out there or at the same level.
Yeah, if it's not better, don't even touch it. Right? I mean, that's the concept.
Yeah, either or, either you're gonna do something dope or don't do it at all just to say I got a Panda remix and it's faulty. I'm not. So if you had to pick out all those, which one would you say? I mean, I'm not gonna lie, man. None of them are really that dope. They might get hot, they might be salty when I say it, but none of them are really that dope. They're not that creative. If you compare them, and I say that because I say this, so I've heard a bunch of Panda remixes, and I told you this week we were chilling in the car. I said the dopest Panda remix is not even in English; it's in Spanish, and it's featuring Daddy Yankee, Farruko, all these guys. It's like ridiculous. Maybe because
you showed me that it was dope.
Yeah, I'm Latino, so I might be saying that because of that. But
you might be a little biased.
Un poquito. But still, I mean, it's the dopest one. T-Pain has one.
You're talking about flows and bars and execution, right?
Yeah, like being creative. So I've heard some that aren't even hip hop. Some of the dopest ones are more R&B-ish. Like they really got creative with how they bring around the whole Panda thing. Because if we talk about lyrics and stuff, the lyrics of the song are trash. Like they're literally really bad.
I'll say this, man. When it came to Threat's version, you know, Threat always has lyrics. You know, he has bars. Okay. And he's a dope lyricist. So I give him that on it, and I'm glad that that this beat is making MCs come out and you know, put the pen to the pad. I thought out of the CHH ones, Fidel,
you may be missing some. Fidel, there might be some other ones too.
Oh, Second Chance just came out with one.
Okay.
And I heard a portion of it. I got to go back and listen to it and really dig into it. But yeah, he always kills it with his flow and stuff like that. But I would say for the most part, majority of them didn't really have too much. They weren't the most unique.
They ain't have me like. Usually when you need a remix, they gonna get you gassed.
Yeah, I think Angie's was probably the most creative when it came to change ups.
And I say it because it was versatile. That's why, not because it was an amazing rendition of singing and rapping. And again, you know what I mean? I'm not just being honest here.
Let's end with this one point. At least you know, the MCs of Christian hip hop, you know, are getting the pen out, and you know they're in tune. They're in tune with what's going on when it comes to the Panda remix.
They're working on the craft.
So
you got to give them that.
Yeah,
because it seems like we forgot in CHH the last time people really got into remixing anything that was out there that was hard, that the beat banged. It was actually pretty hard to find. So it's sort of coming back to the essence of it.
What's one of the best beats that you remember that all of the Christian hip hop MCs got on?
Well, I mean, everybody knows the K-Drama joint, but that was
Air
Jordan on it, where we rep Miami. Everybody was repping their own. But if I had to say one that was...
Oh, you have another one you remember?
No, I'm talking about Lean Back with Fat Joe, but I don't know if anybody really did anything.
Oh, you're talking about like hip hop in general?
Yeah, I'm thinking, you know what I mean? I'm thinking all of that.
I have one.
Which one?
This Is Why I'm Hot.
That might...
Yeah.
Or a Millie. One of them.
Yeah, a Millie. Yeah, a Millie was
actually, one of them. Wayne had a couple that people were in CHH were doing.
Oh, yeah, Wayne.
It's been a long time, though. It's not really happening.
Mims, there you go, Mims. This is why I'm
yes,
high.
you're right.
I was trying to remember the dude's name.
That was a long time ago.
That was a minute ago.
Yeah, it was not close by. That was a while back.
Yeah, it was.
I forgot when it came out, but it's sort of happening. It's good that it's happening because when you get to hear artists do, like Fidel's, when I heard it, I was like, yo, he's coming with something a little different. I mean, the pattern is almost exactly the same. Certain things are almost the same, but some of the dopest ones have not been in English and they haven't been hip hop. They've actually been singing and stuff like that. But we can talk about Panda all night long. I like the beat regardless. The dude's from New York, but the beat doesn't sound anything like he's from New York. It just sounds like he's from the South. Yeah. And I don't know how that whole Kanye thing worked, because Kanye's like on something totally different.
Yeah, Kanye's on something else, man. So that's interesting how, you know,
like trap music,
their relationship. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah. But talking about, and we since we already talked about Panda, and it is sort of good news, bad news, but this is actually really good news. And we were looking at our threads and we were looking online, and I saw that a fellow Christian, well, I'm not a DJ, so I can't say that. I did radio, and this guy is a very respected DJ in Christian hip hop.
Legend in the game.
Yes, he's a legend. I mean, he's done it with everybody and their mama. He's just amazing, from Cross Movement down to now with the big boys. And he fell into some illness and some issues that he had, physical issues that he had. But we got great news from DJ Official, where he's been granted the first part of an actual transplant, a liver transplant, right?
No, man, a lung transplant, and a heart valve repair. And
that's just the phase one. Well, first of all, so people that don't know, and I'm talking from experience of having a kidney, like, man, any kind of transplant at any point is not an easy process to, one, obtain a kidney or obtain an organ, and two, maintaining. You're talking about a life-saving situation, especially for DJ Official. So I got a kidney 3 years ago. I don't think it was as severe as what DJ Official's going through, but it's on the road to recovery, which is exciting. Absolutely. People don't know how hard it is to wait for an organ. Sometimes you have to be put on a list. Sometimes there's a living donor. In my case, I had a living donor. But first, man, we just want to honor this man, really respect the fact that to put it all out there. I know from the beginning, he's been real open about telling people the struggle, what he's sort of going through in the journey, so people can sort of understand. And who knows, man, he's probably been through some stuff. But I'm excited. I can relate so much, because when you get an organ, Paul, like, your life changes completely. People have no idea. Sometimes you feel sick. You don't even know what it is to feel good again. But to get a kidney, in my case, it changed my life. I know with this lung transplant for DJ Official, definitely is going to be an exciting time for him, just because he's an icon to what it is to be. I mean, him, DJ Morph. There's just a couple of DJs that are well respected, that have been in it a while, and we just want to, you know what I mean? What are your thoughts on the whole DJ Official getting a lung transplant coming up?
Well, you know, it's just great news. Definitely all glory to God, and
yes.
Definitely dope that, you know, his prayers were answered. He's approved, and I'm just looking forward to seeing the updates, you know, that come along, and how his journey goes from here on out, moving forward. But I mean, you know, this just had to be mentioned, because you know, DJ Official has produced for some of the legends, the Cross Movement, the Ambassador, you know, the Truth, some of the greatest Christian hip hop records of all time. And
for real,
you know, he was the DJ for Reach Records. He had to retire in 2014 because of his health issues. So to see that things are going in a positive direction,
to balance,
to see that is dope.
And I will say this, man, with all that being said, that it's exciting, and at the same time, I'm even more excited for his family members, his wife, his kids. Like, when you're in a position like that, and again, I just speak from experience, like, those are the people that are more affected. It's not just you physically, but it's those that are around you, that are watching you go through a struggle physically, and you thinking, am I going to be here for them? Am I going to be here for my kids, my wife, whatever? So we glorify God, man. It's exciting. We thought it was that important to speak about DJ Official, and just be excited. Continue praying for him. Absolutely. Because that's what it's really about. Not just us talking about it, but that if you're listening, you make sure that in your prayer time, there's a prayer for DJ Official, for his recovery, for the actual process. We know God is in control. Can't even front. So we just wanted to make sure we give that man DJ Official some love. You know what I mean? The Mi Casa, Tu Casa. Yo, and we've been giving out all kind of great information. DJ Official, Panda, and now talking about something that started changing the way, or is pretty right now it's trending. Is Chance the Rapper, who people might be saying, yo, why these Christian dudes keep talking about secular? Yo, son, this is the genre of hip hop and how it impacts CHH. So, Chance, you know, because every time we talk about Chicago, Paul seems
home of the skyscraper.
Here we go again.
You know what I'm saying? The railroad transportation hub. The movie hub before LA. Matter of fact, Google that. Chicago movie hub. You know what
Beyond
it is.
the Pizza.
I know this information.
Beyond the Pizza. You know what I mean? I really don't. Yeah, I mean, I'm not. Michael Jordan is not that exciting to me. No, I'm just kidding. No, what are you talking about? He's the greatest ever. I said that off air, so I'll say it on air. But Chance the Rapper, who's an independent, amazing young rapper, has been doing some crazy things as of recent. Well, not crazy. Might be crazy for the world, but I think he's doing some really dope things at a great moment in his hip hop career, and we'll sort of come around to why this is all even important and why we even bring this up. With Chance the Rapper has been, give me the break, because you're a Chicago native, man. So I know you know your history. Chance the Rapper, I like this video. You put me onto this video. Dude is like skateboarding on top of a subway or whatever that thing is, that train in Chicago. The thing is, his music is dope. He's doing some things where now he's starting to talk about Jesus. People are saying Chance the Rapper is a believer, a Christian. What's your take on this, man? And first of all, people who may not even know who Chance the Rapper is, and again, we're not endorsing, we're just informing. Yeah. Give me the breakdown on who Chance the Rapper is.
First, I'll start with this, man. I'm a South Florida native. You know what I'm saying?
You want to be clear,
but yeah. But my family, my mom and my biological dad are from the Chicagoland area, and I go to Chicago every year, and it's my favorite place to be outside of South Florida. So I have a deep passion and love for Chi-Town. 312-773-219. You know what it is, man. 219 Northwest
Get to
Indiana.
the Chance the Rapper, man. I want to hear the whole breakdown.
So Chance the Rapper, man. Chance the Rapper is a big deal. Chance the Rapper is just so dope. So in 2013, he dropped Acid Raps, the mixtapes.
Sort of put him on the map.
And in 2014, he was a double XL freshman. He was doing his thing. He was killing it. People were loving him. And then fast forward to 2016, man. You know, he's the first independent artist to appear on SNL. Saturday
he has 1 point. So this dude's indie. Has like 1 point.
Not signed to a major label.
Has like 1 point something million followers.
But what's crazy about this though is that he had this standout verse, at least in a lot of people's opinion, and in my opinion, on Kanye West's The Life of Pablo. He had a crazy verse on Ultra Light Beam, and he was talking about God and
with like the choir in the background and the whole.
You know how when they say someone's in their prime? So like when you look at like Michael Jordan, right? From like he was drafted. Yeah, you know, he was.
You really got to talk about Jordan in this?
It's you know, it's a good way to compare things. So you know, so Jordan comes into the league in 1984, wins Rookie of the Year, averages 28 points per game, right? Right, and then but for 84 to 1990, MJ was not necessarily at the height of his prime, but he was entering in to start winning championships. So Chance the Rapper, I think what makes him unique and why the Christian hip hop community is talking about him so much is because Chance is proclaiming faith and showing a transition like at the beginning of his prime. Like he's not even in the full form of his prime. Like
he's in process of getting there.
He is blowing up as we speak, and he's talking about God. And we know he has a crazy background. You know, his dad works for the mayor of Chicago. His dad worked for Barack Obama when he was senator. So he's very conscious. And you know, in January, you know, he sent out a tweet talking about how he's gonna stop smoking cigs.
That was sort of the transition.
And go to church. Yeah. And it was showing like, you know, he is proclaiming faith in Jesus Christ, and he's trying to get his relationship with God right. And so we're not saying that he's a Christian rapper, or we're not saying that his project,
but he may be in process.
Yeah, and what's crazy about this is, I'm gonna ask you this, Jay. Normally, like when Christian hip hop starts talking about an artist, right? And you know, we're not gonna say no names or take any shots, but when we talk about an artist and we get excited about them, you know, coming to Jesus and becoming a believer in Jesus Christ, usually what point in their career are we talking about them?
If we like go back when
they're in that process.
Yeah, literally usually it goes down when they're at the end or something huge has happened where they no longer want to you know, they got like some awakening, like Mace. Let's use an example, which might not do Chance even Logic.
Yeah, that's like a crazy comparison.
It's a bad comparison.
I get what you're saying, though.
But I'm saying, like, he at the end of his career, where people usually say in the world, like, nah, son, that was it. He can't make any more secular money. He went to the church to get that money. But you're saying this gentleman is.
Well, and Mace just went away from it all.
Yeah, he was like, gone.
Chance is growing in his music.
Like say like DMX. Like now people are saying DMX is sort of trying to do hip hop. I mean, he's given notes before, but he's on the end part of his career.
Yeah, this isn't the DMX that won who had 2 platinum albums in 1 year.
Yes,
right.
This is the ending where I'm struggling, going to prison, having all kind of drama.
And we rejoice when these artists come to faith and stuff like that. But we're just saying this Chance situation, this Chance the Rapper,
it's like unique. I'm not gonna front.
It's unique and it's dope because you know what? Chance might just be the next rapper to have 2 platinum albums in 1 year.
And the good,
might be.
I'm not gonna lie. The cool thing about all this is even listening to some of the records that you shown me, he's being clear about the message he's saying. Although there may be some stuff that's iffy, people are gonna say, "Well, there's some cussing, there's here and there." But I will say this. So let's say Yeezy, right? We're reading this in an article somewhere where Yeezy was
in Rolling Stone,
exactly where they said that when Yeezy was talking about Jesus is just the gospel, there was a lot of frustration where literally people didn't know if he was talking about Jesus, him, or who. But it seems like Chance is being real clear on the fact this is Jesus. He's talking about Jesus. There is no way. If anything, either one, he's praying more, or he's praying, or he's reading his Bible, or he's in transition to becoming a full-fledged believer. I don't know. We don't know that.
We don't know where he's at.
This is not really, but it's just exciting to see a rapper, up and coming, somebody who's making amazing music on a mainstream level, speaking about the Jesus we represent and live out, and getting to see this process as a holy hip hop fan. A CHH fan is exciting. People might say, like, why are we talking about a secular artist? If anything, it's time to pray for the dude. Because this is the funny thing, like, people, and you see this all the time on social media, people see like some secular rapper or whatever, or put some Bible verse, or they'll say something on some kind of interview. All of a sudden, people are like dropping comments like, let us continue to pray so he comes to Jesus. You know, you've seen those type of, but no, this is a dude who on major platforms, SNL, Jim Fallon, like, he's doing huge events and huge platforms, and he's not wavering from speaking about Jesus openly. I mean, and it's not just, there's just a different feel. This is not like Yeezy. There is a clear-cut message of what this dude is doing, and if he's doing it and it completes and it goes, I mean, I believe like Christians are still gonna be salty, so they're gonna hate because he's not saying Jesus all the way through, or being, you know, there may be some cussing here and there. Again, we're not promoting, we're just informing, and something that we think is good, and it sort of evolves in the whole spectrum of what hip hop is coming together with how holy hip hop is impacted by it. So we're saying pray, at least from this end, pray for Chance the Rapper. He makes amazing music, regardless of what you say or what you say. Like, the dude is a dope lyricist. Videos are dope. He's mad creative. He's young, and you just gotta go see what he's talking about.
He's in the beginning of his prime. He's in his early 20s.
So you can't hate on the fact he's doing something great. And we think, I mean, it'd be great to speak to him one day, to be totally honest. The kind of platforms he's on. So just the accolades himself do great things for understanding where he's coming from and where he's sort of going. So I know you're gonna rep him to the end no matter what. Chances from the Shy. So
you already know, man, that Coloring Book album was dope.
You're already like glued. No matter what, you're already glued to what Chance is doing. I think time will tell.
I'm a fan.
Definitely time will tell what we.
Yeah, the verdict's still out overall, I guess.
But so far, it's looking.
But you can't say it, man. All you can say is just be like, wow, man, this is pretty interesting. He's saying some interesting things, and you know what, man? He's acknowledging God, and that's cool. And
it's exciting because if at this point you're hearing the podcast, a couple months go by, and some drastic things start to happen, we believe God will do some great things with Chance, and he's probably already doing. Nobody knows, man. We on a podcast.
Rolling Stone called it a gospel rap masterpiece,
and they use the word rich, which is pretty amazing.
They said it was the richest album of 2016 thus far.
I mean,
but we know what's crazy is that if Rolling Stones is hearing like, wow, this is definitely has something to do with Jesus or something like that, it's something different to them. So it's like they're hearing stuff about God. You know, it's like it's not the same craziness that they usually hear in hip hop at times.
I mean, you can't.
You got to give him credit for that.
Yeah, it's definitely dope, man. So we're definitely, if anything, pray for Chance. I mean, I see people write this on social media all the time. Some trying to be over religious, ain't gonna leave in front. But some people that genuinely are open to saying these people are gonna come over on this side, and we're just saying that God is doing something tremendous, and we just get to sort of witness it.
Hey, you gotta join our movement, man. Hashtag pray for Chance. Not playing.
Yeah.
I'm playing. We ain't gonna do that.
Let's get that joint trending right now.
Yeah, we're not gonna
either
do that
or. Yo, we're out of here, man. How do people follow you again, Paul?
Oh, you can follow me at Twitter, Instagram, Paul Wrights 23. So PaulWrites 23.
Yo, yes, and follow your boy on Twitter or Instagram. Hit me up, JBlaze305 on any social media website. Appreciate everybody who's locked in. People that if you got question, comments, anything you think we need to be talking about, and also on the rapid reaction, we did one recently on Lecrae and signing with Capital, if I'm not mistaken. Correct? Yeah, Columbia. My bad. Columbia signed with Columbia. So we doing some other stuff like that. Also, this weekend coming up. Actually, not this weekend. A couple days from now, when you're hearing this podcast. California is going down. Jam the Hype. It's all going down. Give me some breakdown so we can get out of here. People know what's happening this weekend in Cali. If you're there, you need to get there.
Oh, it's gonna be mad cool. The Urban Youth Workers Institute, Jam the Hype Festival. You know, film, art, graffiti, hip hop music. All May 19th to the 22nd in Azusa Pacific University. I might have
chopped up.
I might have massacred the name of the college, but I might have got it right. But anyways, you can find the information. There's a banner, right on jamthehype.com, and there's gonna be crazy artists out there.
Shout out to Miami artists, man. Surge,
Steph,
Surf Gang,
and then of course the national. 100 Grand is a national show.
Yeah, so KJ52, Christian Grey. Who else is gonna be out there?
Angie Rose, B Rife.
Okay.
A few.
It's gonna be a dope situation.
Artists across the country, man.
It's gonna be exciting, man. All kind of indie artists, the creatives will all be. I won't be there, but my man Paul will be there live and directing. Your first time in Cali, correct?
First time on the West Coast.
I haven't made it to the big time yet, so I'm working to see when I can get myself or when they.
You a legend, bro. You a legend. Don't ever say that.
Yo, we're out of here, man. To next week right here. It's your man Jay Blaze.
It's your boy Paul Martinez.
Yo, Papi, this is the 100 Grand.